My name is Sandra Uni, and I am the Executive Director at the United Way of the Brown County area. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming and tuning in and watching us today. And it happens today that it's a brisk winter day for us to be taping. So we're enjoying being in the nice, cozy library and being able to talk with one of my favorite people, Betty Euling. And she's here to talk about Eagles Preschool and the ECFE program and all those wonderful things with little people.
Yes. So, Betty Euling, New Ulm's Early Childhood Family Ed and Eagles Preschool program. We're very thankful for the support of the United Way agency to help us meet the needs of the families in our program. Do you want me to just talk
Keep
about?
on going.
Okay, I'll keep on going. So first, our early childhood family education classes. Those are classes for parents with children birth up until kindergarten age. Parents and children come into class to do activities together. They'll spend some time doing art projects, playing in the blocks, just playing in the housekeeping area together, just spending that really quality time connecting with each other. There'll be a circle time where they sing songs, and then the parents, while the kids are having snack, the parents will go to either another part of the room or in a different room to talk parenting issues. All the parenting joys and concerns, that it's nice to find out that, I'm not the only parent who has a child who will only eat hot dogs or won't stay in their own bed at night. So we have licensed parent educators who talk about what the experts say on all the different topics. And then what's wonderful about ECFE is then the parents can talk about that, I've tried this worked for me, have you thought about this? So the families are really making those connections with each other and sharing information, tips and tricks.
Well, we loved ECFU when our kids were little here. And our two kids are 31 and 26, so we're still young. But I just remember going, and they loved to go. We lived out in the far country, so it was easy for them to come in and play with a group of friends that they got to know. But I really enjoyed that parent component.
Right.
Because I was out on the farm by myself, kind of, a little lonely, and then you have your first child and you don't know what you're doing. You just kind of point and shoot, so we did. But it was great. It was my way to get out each week as well. I don't know who enjoyed it more, myself or my kids.
And like we hear from a lot of parents, these are the families or the children that your child will be spending time with.
For the next 12 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now you can get, I remember this family from ECFE. We have so many families that say once their kids are off in college, when they come home, they're visiting and hanging out with the friends they made back in their ECFE days. We love hearing when families, because we run 2 9-week sessions, and when families say between the sessions, they're all getting together because they want to keep that connection. It's like, that's exactly what we want to see happen.
That's the win.
We want them to have those connections with each other.
That's great. Now, what I also know, and this again, I can speak through my experience, is my son-in-law is a gentleman of color, and so he has found it helpful to come into a community that is predominantly white and meet people and get to know other couples with kids the same age as theirs. And it's been a great opportunity for him to connect with the community.
Right.
He was from the city and moved down, and at first there was a little bit of culture shock.
Culture shock?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. So for us, there's just, it goes on and on. You know that I just love ECFE and everything that they do.
And that's what we hear from families when they move to town. If they're from a place in Minnesota, they know ECFE is that first stop. Mm-hmm. And that's what we really strive in our office, to be that resource for families. If they move here, we can get them connected with, you're wondering about preschool, you're wondering about Imagination Library, you're wondering about food programs, that we really try and connect them. We have our Facebook page, ECFE-New Ulm, where I try and put anything and everything for families with young kids to do in our community. so they don't have to figure out which pages they're on
Right.
and which ones they're not. And one of the nice things about ECFE is then we also have that sliding fee scale.
Yes.
And a lot of that's
Makes it
thanks to
affordable.
the United Way. So families on their registration form can say, I'm gonna pay full price, half price, or no price. I don't care, don't tell the business manager, but I don't care. I just want families to come to the program. And the United Way dollars are what help us be able to do that.
And we love to do it, and we're actually expanding. I know it's not impacting you directly, but Betty has been so good about utilizing the United Way things that I've reached out to Sleepy Eye in Springfield, and we're starting to pull their ECFE programs together and help them out a little bit too. So it's not just New Ulm,
Right.
and it's great kind of programming for our littles across the whole county, which is exactly what we want. We want those kiddos to be ready for school.
And the other thing we're able to do with the United Way dollars is we're able to offer a lot of one-time events. So like we have our free family gym nights. We have 2 left this school year, one in February, one in March. Where on a Friday night, we open up the gym and families can just come and play. There's no cost. Just show up and play and run your kids ragged, so then they'll go home and sleep really good at night.
Everyone sleeps good tonight, yeah.
That we have our trunk or treat, we have our free family fair, we have our community baby shower. All those programs take funds, but we're able to offer them free thanks to the United Way dollars.
And partnerships in general with other organizations, I think. That's one of the nice things here in New Ulm. We do have a lot of ways for people to give philanthropically, but also for those who may need the assistance. That a lot of times it's just one phone call to one of us, and
Yep.
we can set a ball in motion that's going to be a support system for families all across the county. And that's where we get the warm fuzzies. At least
Yes.
I do. I hang up and go, ooh, to get the exciting things going. So now this is for the ECFE. Now you have Eagles Preschool. What's
Yes.
the difference between the two? Well, let's explain that in case they don't know.
So the ECFE is where classes where parents come with their children to class, starting all the way at birth. And we also actually have prenatal classes too that we offer. And even some of our parenting classes that we do, like through our partnership with WellShare, that like the Love and Logic classes are open to families or grandparents or care providers of any age of
Yep.
child. Eagles Preschool is specifically a preschool program where children who are 3 by September 1, or at least 4 by September 1, where the 3s, they come 3 half-days a week, the 4s come 4 half-days a week. There again, we have a sliding fee scale, so families are either paying full tuition, if they meet certain qualifications, it's reduced, so it'd be a tier 2. Tier 3 is if the family would qualify for reduced educational benefits, or if a family qualifies for free educational benefits, SNAP, MFIP, tuition is $20 a month.
And that is affordable. I think that's
Right.
affordable, and it's a win-win. Because the kids have a great experience, the parents have a great experience, you're engaging in your community and people around you. Yeah, fantastic. Now, is there bus transportation? Because that's a call that I will
Yep.
receive sometimes, and they'll say, I'll send them your direction, and they say, well, do they bus? Can my kid use the bus? So I'm gonna let you answer that.
So a lot of great options. So we offer a noon route in town that could either bring kids home or to a daycare after morning preschool or pick them up for afternoon preschool. And that's what we use our United Way funds, because we know families who are working shifts or working lines, you can't say, oh, stop my machine, I have to go do a preschool run. So that has just been so important for the families. And those United Way funds help reduce that cost for the families to make it more affordable. And now starting next year, we're also going to be trying to have some busing opportunities for rural students. I know.
Wow, that's exciting.
So a child could get on a bus maybe with their older siblings in the country, Hanska, Lafayette, Cortland, ride to school. I'll have a staff member meet them at Jefferson School, get them on a shuttle that goes over to the annex, or get over to the Washington Learning Center. I won't be able to bus them back home at 11 o'clock to the, out in the country, but at least that's one trip. Or
Yes.
at the other end, if the parent brought the child in at noon, then we could bus them back home to the country.
That's going to be very, very, yes, that's going to really put a boost on your programming.
Right.
And it's hard enough to get your kids registered. It's going to really be a trick.
And so we have some families who they're going to be putting their child on the country bus to come into school at 8, but then they have an in-town daycare.
Yeah.
So then we can bus to the daycare middle of the day, and then the parent picks up from daycare at the end. So
Which is what we did. When
Right.
when my wife, that's what we did, is something similar. Except our daycare provider was willing to do a lot of the drop-off for us. So
Right.
we were lucky.
So we're very, very excited to do that offer that for the first time in many years to our
And
families.
people may not know this, but I think one of the highest expenses in running programming when I was teaching or whatever is the transportation component is so expensive. And so any kind of assistance, either through the United Way or directly to you or through the school directly, you know, every bit that goes towards transportation goes towards that transportation.
Right.
Because it's such an expensive piece of the picture.
Yeah, just that midday route that we do in town only is almost $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
So, and there's no way we could have parents fund 100% of that.
Yeah.
It's just not realistic on top of tuition
Right.
and daycare and everything else that a new family with young children has to fit in their budget.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
Yes.
Hey, I'm happy for you.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
me too.
Yes. All right. You mentioned Love and Logic. I had actually taken that training years ago
Okay.
when it was first the new shiny little object. So when we moved back to the New Ulm area and I saw that they still offer Love and Logic
Mm-hmm.
classes. And so that's there in and itself. If you've been using the same kind of program for 30 years?
Right. Yep.
That something here works.
Right.
And if you're not familiar with Love and Logic, it is fabulous on learning how to work with your children and their personalities.
Right. And communicate and so that's where we've had this wonderful relationship with WellShare. So Erin Miller teaches the Love and Logic classes for us. That we're doing something different this next coming session. We're offering one during the school day. So a family, let's say if they're available during the day, they could attend this daytime Love and Logic class. Otherwise, we're also offering our evening Love and Logic, and with the evening one, then we'll also have some childcare available. And the classes are free.
And so, in a quick nutshell, what is Love and Logic classes? What do they focus in on?
A lot of communicating with your child, parenting things, but it doesn't matter whether it's a toddler preschool up into a high schooler. So that's why these classes are open to all families.
Yeah.
And we've had grandparents attend. We've had just some really great feedback.
Yeah, and when you said grandparents, that's exactly what happened to us. My mom was doing some childcare for me, and this class was offered, and so she went as the grandma, and she picked up on some things and just kind of different ways of how to approach your child and work through maybe some of the challenging behaviors. We had some challenged behaviors, and so it gave us a place to start.
Right.
Love it. All right, my gosh. So you have prenatal classes. You've got your themed nights. Family movie night at Lyric 3. That's
Yes.
February.
Yes.
Tell me more.
So, but we can't advertise the name of the movie for licensing reasons, but let's just say there's these yellow characters.
Oh.
So kind of get
yeah,
yes,
little
with
yellow.
that, little funny yellow guys.
All right.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that the families were asking for. They'd like to go to the movie with their child, a little bit reduced cost, but when it's all kids, it's not a big deal if you have
If
to leave.
someone has a meltdown.
Yeah, if you have to leave halfway through because your child it's too long, if they need to run up and down the aisles, It's okay. It's all early childhood families. It is a great introduction if your child has never been to a movie before, that they can get that first little experience.
That's great.
And it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun.
So we do have a limited number of seats that are available. But yeah, so they can just register online for that.
Excellent. Oh my gosh, there's so
And
much
it's the
going on.
little yellow guy's number.
4. Yellow, short, yellow thing is 4. Got it.
Yes.
We got it. The community baby shower. What does
Yes.
that mean?
So this is something we've been doing for many, many years. We want to celebrate, but also provide an opportunity for those who are expecting, have had or adopted a baby in the past 12 months, or a licensed child care provider who's caring for an infant. They come, that we have a goodie bag we give them with whatever donated stuff I can find, hint, hint. And then we have some refreshments, we have some vendor tables, and those vendors are places that work with families with infants. So whether it's first choice pregnancy, Alina, paper pie books, things like that. I have a speaker that will talk on a topic. We've had in the past, like Kristen Drill, that OT in town has talked about why movement is really important for babies and to get them out of the buckets, and the concerns that they've had developmentally with children who spend a lot of time contained in seats, and why it's important for them to be on the floor.
The tummy time.
The tummy time. We've had presentations on nutrition, on postpartum depression, that just lots of different topics. But each year is a different topic. And then at the end, we have door prizes, which are amazing. So the Optimist Club of New Ulm donates $500 for us to purchase door prizes. So everyone who comes gets a door prize. The only thing is that they have to be there the entire time
Okay.
in
Good
order to get a door prize.
Good to know.
But we've also had other community organizations and banks in town that have provided things for the goodie bags or door prizes. So there again, it's really a big community event, and we couldn't do these things without the support of the community and other organizations.
And and there was that saying, it takes a village to raise
Yeah.
a child. It's kind of been a buzzword for a long time, but it's the truth. And here in New Ulm, it's amazing
Yeah.
how the different entities have all these wonderful programs, and they all help each other out. I know that if I have a question, I can give Betty a call real quick, or an email, or whatever. And we appreciate, for instance, a benefit for the United Way is that we have our Imagination Library program, which is the Dolly Parton Foundation. And all you need to do is sign your child up. There's no income guidelines, nothing. And they will receive a brand new age-appropriate book from the time they get signed up, which it could be birth, through their 5th birthday. And we have over 1,000 children right now in Brown County who are receiving that book every single month. And that's a huge, it's a huge thing. And that's something that we are very proud to be a part of. And you guys help us with that a lot, because they'll help us with inputting. If there's a lot of new kids that come in at once, your people will just pop them all in there, and then I'll just go, oh, Betty's been in here again. So it just works out perfectly.
Amber's been in there. Amber, amazing.
Yes.
But yeah, it just works really well. Then we make sure that families are on our census, so then they can find out about our ECFE classes, that it just makes a lot of sense for one organization to manage the database.
Yep, and it really integrates. It's a good place to start. It's a really nice, safe place to start. And who doesn't love to read books?
I know,
Right? Okay, so Eagles Preschool enrollment opened already.
Yes.
Is it really time for?
Oh
my gosh.
My head is already in the fall.
Yeah.
But yeah, so last Monday, our ECFE registration opened for this next session. That will begin in February, and on Tuesday, registration opened for Eagles Preschool for next fall. We've already had probably about 85 to 90 registrations come in.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so then the returning students have priority, so I get them registered, and then I just walk down the list on the order that people registered and say, okay, are you interested in morning, afternoon? Do you need bus transportation? Do you have questions?
How many kids, how many preschoolers on an average, I'm throwing you a curveball here, on any given month, about how many little people's lives is ECFE touching?
That through preschool, our max enrollment would be about 168. We do have some openings right now, so if anyone wants to get a student in for the end of the school year,
Act quick.
come find me. So right now, I think we're at about 130 students.
Oh, so you're almost there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then through ECFE, we probably have about 80 students that we see every week in the ECFE classes. And nothing makes us smile more when we see someone signed up with their 3-week-old, or their 2-week-old, or the baby will be born soon. That we've really put a lot of emphasis on building up our infant program.
Yeah.
Our infant teacher, Meg, has just been phenomenal on building and rebuilding our infant program. So we have for classes, we have what we call mini mingle. So every Tuesday from 9 to 11, our classroom is open. So parents can just come and hang out. And
do they need to pre-register?
Nope,
Or
they just
say
show
they
up and
woke up, it's a good day, beautiful weather, let's go.
And it's free, and it could be, I just need to get out of the house with my baby or my toddler. And whatever you need, Meg is there. If you have questions on parenting, she can help with that. If it's like, I am so overwhelmed, I just need someone to hold my baby for a while so I can
Breathe.
sit on the couch in the room and just decompress.
Yes.
Meg loves holding the babies. That we have one group of parents that's their time that they get together every week. That it's really cool, and they're like, I believe, all sisters, and they all meet there with their babies and toddlers. We have a grandparent who comes with the grandchild every week.
Wow.
And it's just whoever shows up.
That's so neat.
And you come when you get there, and when
You have to
you've
leave,
had enough, or your child has had enough, you go.
Say, see you next time.
Yeah, so that's been really exciting to offer families. We love if families or parents who are on maternity leave, that this is a way of just getting out of the house, especially now when the weather is
Weather's
turned.
cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also we're doing this year, through the Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation and the Bremer, that I call them bonus boxes. So families who are attending our ECFE classes, each time receive a box with kind of like information that expands whatever they were talking about in the parent education part.
Oh, neat. So it's kind of another step forward.
Right. And then stuff you can take home, because when you're there with your child, sometimes you're only hearing half of it.
Yeah.
So if it's, like she had one that was a topic on nutrition. So then in the box is some more information, and then like a little pouch where you can put food in. You can see what I'm doing, like a little squishy thing.
Yeah. Where kids that suck on them.
Right.
Like applesauce or whatever.
Right. And so we have some of that, and then there's a little art project. Did a safety one, then there was information on doing that home safety checklist and outlet covers. We have one where we're talking about health, and we'll have a little thermometer.
Amazing.
Just all kinds of cool stuff. So,
And again, I keep saying community, but we in this area in southern Minnesota, in Brown County, are so blessed to have organizations such as the ECFEs and the early childhoods and the preschools, and then we go into the schools, and they all just kind of follow each other and support one another. But what is important for people to realize is if you've never left the area, you don't realize what you have until
Right.
you don't have it. And my oldest grandchildren are in Alaska. And so be talking to my daughter about it, and she'll go, I wish we had an ECFE. You know, she just, you know, that's that, oh, what they wouldn't do to be able to have that outlet, and they just don't. And when you live at the end of the Richardson Highway, you just don't do that. But
And people don't realize ECFE is a Minnesota only.
Yes.
There is no other state that has early childhood family education classes
Yes.
and part of our funding comes from the state, some from levy, and then from donor organizations such as United Way, but no one else has what we have.
Right.
And we have licensed early childhood teachers, we have licensed parent educators, so the staff are highly trained.
And that's nice knowing that when you go and you're going to be talking with, say, a parent educator, they've been there, done that.
Right.
You know, maybe they've been through the terrible twos about 3 times or something, where they can really give you heartfelt, good, solid feedback.
Right. It's not information off a blog that
No.
you don't know who wrote it. The staff really do a great job of researching.
Now, how many people do you have on your staff between this preschool and the ECFE?
So preschool, we have 5 preschool teachers, and then a lot of paraprofessionals who support the classrooms, who are all wonderful. With ECFE, we're kind of like a odd little bird. So I have a lot of staff who teach 1 class a week. So they are literally teaching 18 days out of the school year, that hour and a half, so that 2 hours. So their entire school year is maybe 36 hours of
Wow.
teaching time. And so I have 3 early childhood teachers who teach at night, 1 who teaches on Tuesday morning, and I have like 3 parent educators, and then there again, some amazing paraprofessionals who help out.
So
But-
you could easily say maybe 40, 50 adults?
If I count in all the early childhood special ed,
That's
Yeah,
amazing. That's
yeah.
a lot of people to have in your kids' corner.
right. And amazing. I've always said that I have the most amazing, caring staff that they step up. They're there, they're invested in the students, invested in the programs. I can't say enough amazing things about the staff.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yay, yay. Okay, so we've talked about sliding fee schedule and enrollment, and I see something here that isn't ringing a bell for me. Angel Fund. What's
Yes.
the Angel Fund?
So that's, I think we're in our 3rd year of having that with preschool, that there is a tuition. And like I said, it can be all the way down to $20. It can be as high as $200 and some a month. We've had some families over the years, like, it's a tough month, that we just don't have the money for tuition. And without the tuition being paid, a child cannot attend. And we are really struggling with that. And so we had some individuals in the community who said, we want to make sure that every child who wants preschool can attend. So they donated to this Angel Fund. And so if a family approaches me and said, we're struggling this month, we maybe have some medical bills that we don't even have $20, that we can have this Angel Fund pay the child's tuition.
I love that.
And for some families, it's a 1-month thing. There's some families that the Angel Fund pays the whole year or pays half the tuition.
It's
But-
there, it meets the need, and there's no judgment
No,
at all.
that I have families that they just send me an email saying, we're struggling, can we have the Angel Fund for this month? And we have the funds in there, and it's wonderful that we continually have checks. I just received another check just yesterday for the Angel Fund.
Love it. Now, is there like a preferred amount, or is it just anyone?
Anyone, anything.
That's good to
Yeah.
know. That's good, yeah, because that wasn't ringing a bell. All right.
Yep,
So-
that's pretty new, and that was from someone on our advisory board who'd said that they had this in their
Another area?
community and they wanted to give back.
Wow. How neat
I
is that?
know.
And that's that whole pay it forward kind of thing that I
Yes.
like to live. You know, that's kind of
Yep.
my life is pay it forward, pay it forward. And that sounds like a great way that you can give.
Yep.
You know, sometimes with what you're doing, physically volunteering or whatever might not work out well. But if you have a heart for little kids and you have especially the early childhood kiddos, this would be a great way to help the program. And you can remain anonymous and just help kids out. And that's what we all want to do is we want to raise young people who are good citizens. And that starts
Yes.
way down in the early childhood.
And yeah, and the Angel Fund has just been such a blessing to our families. And when you hear the families who are just, some of them are just really struggling, and they wouldn't have been able to have their child in preschool. So this keeps them there.
Yes, and as you know, we know that the economy has been a kind of fluctuating here. I can only imagine that your phone is ringing as much as my phone
Yeah.
is ringing, and so that there's never a better time to give. You know, we're always looking at ways to implement what the programs we have and keep programs going. So if this is something that speaks to you, I'm sure that
Come by me.
Betty would love to talk to you and give us some contact information.
Yeah.
How is that? How do we get a hold of you?
Can reach me, so my office is at the Washington Learning Center. You can email me through the school site, that B Euling, UEHLING, at newalm.k12.mn.us. I have a lot of families that just message me through our Facebook page, ECFE-Newalm.
Stalk the Facebook page. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm a stalker. I stalk what you're doing all the time.
Do you
It's
see
fun.
like all of our boot skate pictures
Love
yesterday?
it.
They were so cute.
Yes. There's so many things. Yes.
But yeah, so I have a lot of families that just message me through the Facebook page because it's very convenient. You could call our office, 233-8311. Amber answers the phone. She is phenomenal.
And if you can't get a hold of someone at the school, which you should, but you can always call United
Yep.
Way office, 507-354-6512, or email us, and we'll get you connected in with the right avenues to get your kiddo involved.
And then there's also the school district website too.
Yep.
But
Community Ed, they
Yep.
also have links for you too. So
Yep.
there's lots of ways to find Betty.
And the other thing is our ECFE and Eagles preschool program. It doesn't matter where you're going to send your child to kindergarten, public, non-public. We have amazing options for families in our community. Everyone is welcome at our early childhood family ed and Eagles preschool classes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. How many kids have you touched in the last, 30 years?
30 some, just a few.
Do you think? What would be?
Oh, I couldn't even guess.
Thousands.
But it is so cool when that the kids that we had in class back then are now back as parents. It is so cool.
It's very rewarding.
Yeah.
It is.
I can't think of anything else I'd rather do.
Yeah.
That it is just so cool.
That's amazing. Well, I think I've gleaned a lot of information from you today. Again, thanks for coming. Thanks for your patience and telling us all about this. And as viewers, again, if you're interested in the Eagles preschool or the ECFE programming here in New Ulm, you can reach out to the school district, reach out to United Way, we'll connect you. And if you are led at this time to maybe provide some funds for their Angel Fund, so kind of keep it there as an emergency pot for kiddos so that they don't need to leave the program for lack of funds. I'm sure we can connect you all up in that. So thanks again. Thank you for watching us today, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Living United.